The Speaker, he is correct. Any aid has got to insist that the science of forestry be implemented so you, the American people, you don't have to keep bailing people out. These are predictable Santa Ana winds. They are predictable wildfires. They got to clear out the brush and do things like, control burns and maybe not put a little shrub above the safety of people's lifeblood, their home. Podcast host Patrick, Bet, David highlighted the cost of construction, came up with 5 possible solutions that the governor, the state, could use to pay for it. He could ask Trump and taxpayers for help. He could raise California's already high taxes even more. He can tax the California billionaires. We hear about that, chase them out of California even more. Blame and deflect, which he's already done, or frankly resign, which is never going to happen. He's the host of the PBD podcast, founder of Value Attainment Media Group. Patrick Bet David is with us. Wait a minute. You're a part owner of the New York Yankees. How did you pull that off?
Sean, it's great to be on with you. One day I get a call from a man named Bob saying, I hear you're interested in being an owner of the Yankees. I said, yes. Year and a half later, all the background check, everything that happened, I became a minority owner, which was a very special day.
Guess what? They never called me. I would have been very interested if I could get even a half a share. Anyway, thanks for being with us. Look, to me, this is simple. Basic forestry, science, management, clear brush, fire retardant, building materials, control burns, put the lives and the homes of people above a plant. Let's start there. Why aren't they doing that?
So, Sean, bad policies have consequences. We saw this during COVID. When California came up with all these policies, and I lived there for 24 years, you started seeing a mass exodus, first time since 1851, where the net migration was a negative in California. If you look at the numbers from July 2020 till April of 2024, the number one state with negative migration, net negative migration, is the state of California. 1.234 million people left the state due to COVID policies. Now, those folks left because they were sick of their kids not going to school. They were sick of not having a life. They wanted to go out there, go to a restaurant. Maybe they moved to Texas. Maybe they moved to Florida. But the exodus we're about to see, Governor Newsom calls it Los Angeles 2.0. I call it California Exodus 2.0. Here's why. The average age of somebody that lives in LA is 37 years old. Think about when you and I were 37 years old, what life events was taking place. Maybe you're having a kid or your second one. You're buying a house or your second one, thinking about starting a business, thinking about a career change. So let's process this together. You sit there, if you choose to buy a house in California, you have to ask yourself this question. Do the current leaders of California who come out with the policies protect you from a future earthquake, protect you from a future fire, protect you from preventing insurance companies' prices of going up? Do you believe that's going to happen? The answer is no. Number two, if you choose to build a house and you want to rebuild, how long do you think it's going to take to get those permits? Probably 12, 24, 36 months. Number three, if you choose to have kids, why would you raise your kids in the school system of California, no matter what part of California you're in? Why would you do that? So you don't trust the system. Number four, if you choose to start a small business in California, do you think they've cleaned the homelessness? They got $24 billion of taxpayer money, and homelessness just went up. In America, we have 770,000 of homeless people in America. 181 of it is in California. This man has been the governor for 6 years, the lieutenant governor prior to that for 8 years. His policies have destroyed a once great state. This is why you saw that tweet.
All right, so we have hydrants that don't work. We have empty reservoirs. We find out $650 million allocated to make the port of L.A. green. We found out that the state, that they have $2.6 billion allocated for firefighting, but $101 million was cut from that. We know that the city of Los Angeles cut money. We know that they're spending $100 billion on electric vehicles. We know that the city of Los Angeles is spending $800 grand on electric street sweepers, but they're cutting the fire department budget. How do you fix stupid? Because it's all stupid and it's all preventable.
Well, I mean, you saw the exchange with Mayor Bass where she went up there and she said, well, I'll never as a mayor, I'll never leave the States. I'll never go abroad. She left 5 times. The leaders are not leading that state. But think about it this way. The Palisades, you look at all the fires, 80,000 acres, 24 death toll that we know about right now, all the homes, $250 billion of damages today. Reservoir Santa Ynez, 117 million gallons of water it can have. Since February of last year, it's been zero. Why? Because there was a hole in the cover that they had. That was 1 mile away from the fire that took place. We can look at so many different angles, Sean. It's just bad policies. And they sit there thinking people are not going to be leaving. The next phase of people leaving, maybe Hollywood doesn't leave. Maybe the boomers in California that have lived there for a while don't leave.
Let me tell you
maybe
the
some of the
thing.
folks that are sitting there that have family ties, restaurants, businesses don't leave. But that 35 to 45-year-old that knows the next 20 years are going to be the best money-making years of their careers, they're looking at Nevada, they're looking at Texas, and they're looking at Florida.
And I can't blame them for looking at any one of those. But I will tell you, they don't get a penny unless they adopt the science of forestry so that the American taxpayer won't have to give one more penny to California. Frankly, in many ways, they should have to fix this themselves. They elected these people. They wanted these environmental radicals in office, and this is what they got. And sadly, I bet they elect Kamala next. That's pathetic. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.